Well, I was Christmas Eve and minding my PvE and on my own time when the cat walked across the keys like he owned the joint. He tapped whiskey, Zulu whiskey, and before I knew what hit me, I was at the Southern High Rock spawning point. I found myself in a group of folks, laughing and telling all the best dad jokes, and the shiniest one said nickel, and away we went. And 30 yellers come pouring out, and they were dying by the dozen as we laid it down. We painted it blue and wrecked it to 100%. I was fixing to go, I had presents to wrap, but then it happened in all caps. The Grinch himself shouting Chal FDUA. Now, if you've ever been DC, you sure as shooting don't. You know Bella and Darian, Laris and Varen, Eveline, Iroh, and Sai and Sombrin. But do you recall the most Vanquish story of them all?
The prophet was dead to begin with. There's no doubt whatsoever about that. The register of his burial was signed by the guard captain, the undertaker, and the priest of Archay. Scrooge signed it, and Scrooge's name was considered good for any piece of business he chose to put his hand to. The prophet was dead as a doornail. Now, I don't know what there is particularly dead about a doornail. I would think a coffin nail would be a deader piece of iron, but far be it from me to change the expression, or none is done for. So permit me to repeat once again, emphatically, that the prophet was dead as a doornail. Scrooge was his sole executor, his sole companion, his sole friend, and the only man who mourned him. But even Scrooge was not so dreadfully cut up by the sad event, or by any event for that matter.
He was, in short, tight-fisted at the grindstone.
Scrooge!
He was squeezing, wrenching, gasping.
Scraping, clutching, covetous old sinner.
The cold within him froze his old features, nipped his pointed nose, shriveled his cheek, stiffened his gait,
and spoke out in his grating voice.
Ah, humbug!
Bless his heart.
It was bitterly cold, and the fog was as thick as pea soup on that Christmas Eve of 2E583, when Scrooge sat busy in his counting house. Scrooge had a very small fire, but the clerk's fire was so very much smaller that it looked like one coal. But Bella Cratchit, the clerk, couldn't replenish it, for Scrooge kept the coal box in his own room, so she tried to warm herself by the candle.
A Merry Christmas, Uncle.
It was the voice of Scrooge's niece.
What?
I said, a Merry Christmas, Uncle. The divines bless you.
Ah, humbug.
Christmas a humbug, Uncle. You don't mean that, I'm sure.
Of course I mean it. Merry Christmas indeed. What reason have you to be merry? You're poor enough.
Come then. What right have you to be dismal? You're rich enough.
Ah, what's Christmas time to you but a time for paying bills without money? If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stick of holly through his heart.
Uncle.
Niece, keep Christmas in your own way, let me keep it in mine.
Keep it, but you don't keep it.
Let me keep it alone, then. A lot of good it has done you.
Well, there are many things from which I have benefited, even if they didn't show a profit, I dare say. Christmas among the rest. I have always thought of Christmas as a good, kind, forgiving, charitable, pleasant time. The only time of year I know of when men and mer seem by one consent to open their shut-up hearts freely and think of others as if they really were fellow passengers to the grave. And therefore, Uncle, though it has never put gold in my pocket, I believe that it has done me good, and will do me good, and I say, the divines bless it.
Another word out of you, and you'll keep your Christmas by losing your position.
Don't be angry, Uncle.
A Merry Christmas, Uncle. Come, dine with us tomorrow.
I'll see myself in oblivion first.
But why, Uncle?
Why? Why did you get married?
Because I fell in love.
And I fell in love with being alone. Good afternoon.
Nay, Uncle, you never came to see me before. Why give this reason now?
Good afternoon.
I want nothing from you but to be friends.
Good afternoon.
I'm sorry with all my heart, but I'll keep my Christmas humor to the last. So, a Merry Christmas, Uncle.
May I help you?
Scrooge and Varens, I believe. Have I the pleasure of addressing Ms. Scrooge or Ms. Varen?
Baron's dead. In fact, he died 7 years ago this very night.
Oh, I'm quite sorry to hear it, but I have no doubt his generosity is well represented by his survival.
At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge, it is more than usually desirable that we should make some slight provisions. The Cratchit and Elsweyr are suffering greatly at the present time with dragon attacks.
Peril storms are plaguing the lands of Skyrim. Oblivion portals are opening across Blackwood.
And not to say there are thousands of Covenant soldiers who need basic supplies. Hundreds of thousands are in need of your daily necessities, sir. What shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
You wish to remain anonymous.
I wish to be left alone. Since that's what you asked, gentlemen, that is my answer. Let's see. I help support the prisons and the slaver camps. They cost enough. And those who are badly off must go there.
But many cannot go there, and many would rather die.
Oh, well. If they would rather die, perhaps they should go ahead and do it, and decrease the surplus population. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
At length, the hour of shutting up the counting house arrived. Bella Cratchit replaced her quill and put on her hat.
You'll want the whole day, I suppose.
If it's convenient, Uncle.
It's not convenient, and it's not fair.
It was only once a year.
Poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of Evening Star. So I suppose you must have the whole day. Be here all earlier the next morning.
Thank you, Uncle.
Scrooge took his melancholy dinner in his usual melancholy tavern and went home to bed. Now, it is a fact that there was nothing at all particular about the emblem on the gate of his house, except that it was very large, and yet Scrooge, having his hand on the latch of the gate, saw the emblem. Not an emblem, but Varen's face with a dismal light about it, like a dead hawker in a dark cellar.
Scrooge.
Varen? I see. My mind must be playing tricks on me. Hoo-hoo!
Scrooge went inside and straight away to his bedroom. As he dressed for bed, Strange sounds began to fill his room.
Ebenezer! Ebenezer!
Humbug!
It was Varen's ghost, his body completely transparent.
Ah!
Scrooge,
How's this? What do you want with me?
much.
Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
All right. Who were you then?
In life, I was your companion, Varen Aquilarius.
I don't believe it.
You don't believe in me?
I don't.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because a little thing can affect them so. A slight disorder of the stomach. You may be an undigested bit of beef, a curd in a soup, a wheel of cheese, a fragment of underdone potato. There's more of gravy than of grieve about you, whatever you are. Ha ha! Ah! Mercy! Mercy! Why do spirits walk darn, and why do they come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him walk abroad among his fellow men. And if that spirit go not forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death. Oh, woe is me.
You are fettered. Tell me why.
I wear the chains I forged in life. I made it link by link and yard by yard. I gathered it of my own free will, and of my own free will I wore it. Is its pattern strange to you? Or would you know the weight and the length of the strong coil you bear yourself? It was full as heavy as long as this 7 Christmas Eves ago. It is a ponderous chain.
Baron, speak comfort to me.
I have none to give, Ebenezer Scrooge. I have nothing.
But you're always such a good man, too,
The Empire? I tried to bring men and Mer together, to put an end to the Daedra threats. But look where it got us. Hear me, my time is nearly gone. I am here to warn you that you yet have a chance and hope of escaping my fate.
You were always a good friend to me.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
Is that the chance you mentioned, Baron?
It is.
Then I'd rather not.
Expect the first tomorrow, when the bell tolls 1.
Can I take them all at once and have it over?
Expect the second on the next night at the same hour. The third upon the next night, when the last stroke of 12 has ceased to vibrate.
When the apparition had said these words, he faded into the darkness.
Beware, beware.
Humbug!
So Scrooge lay in his bed and thought, and thought, and thought, and thought it over, and could make nothing of it. The more he thought, the more perplexed he was. The more he endeavored not to think, the more he thought. Varen's spirit bothered him exceedingly. Every time he resolved within himself that it was all a dream, his mind flew back again like a strong spring release to its first position, and presented the same problem to be worked all through. When Scrooge awoke, it was so dark that looking out of bed he could scarcely distinguish the transparent window from the brick walls of his chamber.
Was it a dream, then? I can barely distinguish the transparent window from the brick walls of my chamber.
I just said that.
Oh, sorry. Quarter past. Half past. A quarter to it. Ha! The hour itself, and nothing else.
Scrooge.
Ah! The prophet? Are you the spirit whose coming I was told about?
I am.
You couldn't have changed to someone less leathery by chance? Female?
No.
I mean, what are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, your past.
What brings you here?
Your welfare, of course.
I can't think of anything more conducive to my welfare than a night of uninterrupted sleep.
Your reformation, then. Take heed. Walk with me, Vestige.
Oh, I am but mortal and liable to fall.
Bear a touch of my hand there, and you shall be upheld in more than this.
Good heavens! I remember this place, but why are we here?
You have to find your own path. But perhaps there is a reason for the place in which you will find yourself.
Why? That's Sai! And Lyris! You're alive!
These are merely shadows of the things that have been. They are not aware of us.
Well, how's this? Wait, where's Thawne? Where are you?
Listen.
Snow Lily, no. Don't do this. Please.
I feel like I've already lived a dozen lifetimes. I'm so tired. If my death has meaning, then so will my life.
Snow Lily,
You have a duty at the Abbey of Blades.
You should not need to give your life this way. This is my duty. Penance for my numerous failures.
Death is simply life's next great adventure, Sai, and I am prepared to make the journey. I have always loved you. I know that now.
Your lip. It is trembling. And what is that upon your cheek?
With what? Oh, nothing. It must be a pimple.
The past before us has been revealed. Hours passed when you chose Lyris.
I don't have regrets. I went on to defeat Molag Bal, destroy the Plain Mill, and save Nirn. I wish. But it's too late now.
What is it?
I just didn't know they were in love.
Come, Vestige. We have more to see.
Come, Snow Lily. We yet have this one last night.
A glimpse of Sovngarde.
Most excellent to see you, my newfound friend. I am Rigged the Brash, but you can call me Ambassador. The Avenhot Pact sent me to extend a branch of peace to the glorious, brave, and beautiful Orcish peoples.
Oh, now that's an eloquent way to describe orcs.
No, friend, you see the depths of Rigged's heart, riddled as it is to the overflowing with Freyla's pointy arrows of affection. If only Rigard knew how to express such feelings to the lovely Ambassador Lasdutha.
Who is Ambassador Lasdutha?
Oh, she is the apple in my tart and the rabbit in my meatball. She captured Rigard's heart the moment I stepped into her presence. The ambassador's aide Rufala said I need to collect delicious delicacies, but I can't leave the clanhold. If you can help Rigard find these things, I can prepare a romantic meal and win Ladusa's love.
You want me to help who?
Your new friend Rigard?
Do you know who I am?
Oh yes, you are Rigard's newfound friend.
I'm the one that ended the plane melt. The destroyer of Moloch Baal. The savior of Nirn.
Really? That is most excellent news. Rigard's heart dances like patrons in the fire pit of the Flaming Niche, knowing his famous newfound friend will help Rigard win the love of Ambassador Lasdutha.
I really don't have time for this.
But Rigard does not wish to be alone on Christmas Eve. Oh, friend. Oh, friend.
It is such a small thing to help people and bring them joy.
A small thing?
Is it not? After all, what did he want? A few tokens to win the affection for his love. Did you even ask?
Isn't that spirit? I just thought... No, doesn't matter now. But tell me, did he ever find his love?
More that his love found him.
Do you know how long I've been looking for you?
Damn that devil woman!
Come along, Vestige. It is time to see another Christmas.
We keep managing to find each other, don't we, hero? Deshawn, Eastmarch, the Gold Coast, even here in Vardenfell. Gods, it feels like I've known you forever.
It hasn't been that long. Were you waiting for me?
No, I just enjoy hanging around the docks. I love all the gnashing of teeth and smuggling. Yes, I was waiting for you. Look, I don't know how to say this, and I don't have a bottle of wine to make it easier.
Say what?
I wanted to ask why you keep showing up and sticking your beautiful nose in my business.
Because your beautiful nose needed the help.
You think my nose is beautiful? Hero, you're going to make me blush. Look, I know I've been kind of a tease, and I appreciate that you've always been there for me. But... Do I really need to spell it out? I wanted to imagine a hot bath, a bottle of wine, and a secluded cottage with a roaring fire. But damn it all, I know it matters very little to you, but this idol that you are has displaced me.
What idol has displaced you?
This arrogant, vain, self-important, stuck-up person you've become. Look, I really do like you, but the old you, when you used to help others, before you were this hero.
So what should I do?
Do what you do best. Go rushing, swinging weapons, and tossing magic around like there's no tomorrow. But without me. Just don't die on me, hero. Got that?
I knew I would find all the beautiful ladies here at the docks. Did you put that leather back on just for me?
I can't believe I had to wear a dress for my last assignment. Not my first choice of garb, but it worked. How do women wear stuff like that all the time?
Well, it looked good on you.
Well, thanks. Maybe I could get used to wearing such finery when things aren't so dangerous. What am I saying? Get your arse over here and give me a kiss.
I just passed an old friend of yours.
Scrooge.
The very same. He looked quite alone in this world.
Now I need that bath. A nice long soak with a few glasses of fine wine. Coming.
Spirit, show me no more. Conduct me home. Why do you enjoy torturing me?
There is one more shadow we must yet see.
Well, this is awkward. You're probably wondering how your old friend Darian became Meridia's champion and got stuck in all this sticky webbing. Funny story, really. Probably better to wait to tell you until we escape from this realm.
You're the Golden Knight. The same one that's been trying to contact us.
Guilty as charged. Meridia sent me to offer my assistance, but those other princes kept interfering. And I was dragged in this pit of spider harlots. Look, we can catch up on things later. Right now, can you cut me down?
Meridia?
Yes. Can you please hurry it up? I like sticky, but this isn't what I had in mind.
No. No, Darian, I won't. Meridia once told me that life is a game, or reality is a game. Learn to play, and resign yourself to becoming one of the pieces that's meant to be sacrificed. You may be her golden knight, but not me. And I refuse to be one of the pawns in her games.
Scrooge! Scrooge, it's Christmas Eve, please. If I'm late for dinner again, Nari will put daggers in my chest.
Humbug!
Oh, Spirit, Prophet, remove me from this place.
I told you, these are shadows of the things that have been. They are what they are. Do not blame me.
Please, I beg you, take me away from here. I can bear no more. No more!
After this mighty struggle, if it can be called a struggle, Scrooge was conscious of being exhausted and overcome by an irresistible drowsiness, and further, of being in his own bedroom once again. He barely had time to reel to bed before he sank into a heavy sleep.
Who was that?
Scrooge! Ebenezer Scrooge! Come, Five Claw. Come here and know this one. This one is the spirit of Christmas present. You have never seen the likes of me before, yes?
My word. What sort of spirit are you?
What sort of spirit am I? Do you not know me?
I do not. You are unfamiliar to me.
Am I? Well then come closer, Five Claw. Come closer and know this one.
Oh, Spirit, Spirit. I'm exhausted from my previous encounter and cannot go on. I don't wish to seem ungrateful, but I am tired and need sleep.
Here. Drink from this cup and you will be restored in more than this, and given the strength to continue. We have much to see and little time. Drink, Five Claw. This one is the ghost of Christmas present. You mean to tell me you've never shared in the abundance of the season? Never given a gift? Received a gift? Enjoyed a Christmas feast? A plum pudding? A rum punch? Come now, Scrooge. There was a Christmas or two, many years ago, when you were a much younger man, and had plans and hope for a life with you, when you knew my kin.
Oh, that may be true, but that was long ago.
Well then, you know the joy of giving and fun of receiving. It is not dead in you. You can awaken these feelings of generosity and kindness. The choice is yours, my friend. Live as you have, or change.
I'm too old to change.
Nonsense. Come, Five Claw, let me show you the joy of the season. It knows no class boundaries, it knows no age. It is shared by all regardless of race, gender, or wealth. Touch my robe and we shall see how even the poor have much to celebrate on Christmas Eve.
When the Wrathstone was joined in the halls of Colossus, it broke the seal that held Calgrunteed and his demons, and released them into the vast blue skies of Elsweyr. Powerful, deadly, and yet beautiful, the dragons ravaged camps and towns without discrimination. Tamriel heard the cries of the Khajiit people, and brave adventurers bonded together to aid them. But it would not come without cost.
Where is this place? I recognize nothing here.
This is Khajiit's hometown of St. Charles, and down the road is the home of your kin. Have you never been to visit?
No, why?
This one has things to show you.
Goose, cabbage, just one day old sausage.
Do I have my eyes deceive me? That's Tim, my niece's son. What's he doing here?
All of Elsweyr is under attack from dragons. He has joined the fight against the dragons like so many others. Men and mer from all lands of Tamriel have come to help the Khajiit people. This one sings of joy, but it is not enough.
I'll take a goose, please. I'll take a goose, please.
How could Tim live in this wrecked town? The
Not all can afford to live in the higher districts. This one thinks they would live more comfortably in prisons or slaver camps, yes? Come, Five Claw.
Mother!
Oh, Tim, how late you are.
We had a great deal of practice this morning, and I saw Sai-Sahan.
You did? That is amazing.
There was this grappling hook and everything.
A what?
A grappling hook. I didn't see it up close, but I saw Sai teaching someone how to use it. They pointed it at a post, and then this rope shot out with a claw, and And the next thing I knew, she was at the post.
And you don't have one?
No, not until...
Good, Tim. Help me with the goose.
Mother, I'm so happy you were able to come visit. The food, the decorations are all so wonderful. And such a goose. Just smell the sage and the onion. You outdid yourself, Mother, and it wasn't expensive at all.
A Merry Christmas to us, my son. The divine bless us, and we should toast the founder of the feast.
Scrooge?
Yes, my dear.
Founder of the feast, indeed. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon.
Tim, it's Christmas.
Only on Christmas Eve would one ever drink to the health of such a cruel, stingy, and unfeeling man as Scrooge.
My dear, Christmas, a kind, forgiving, charitable time. If he cannot be, we must be happy for him.
Oh, very well. I'll drink to his health for your sake, and for the days, but not for his. Long life to him. A Merry Christmas. He'll be very merry and very happy, I have no doubt, Uncle Scrooge.
The divine bless Uncle Scrooge. What was that?
I'm so sorry, Mother. I'm being caught. A dragon was sighted.
Now? But it's Christmas Eve. We just sat down to eat.
Mother, if I don't go, there'll be many families that don't get to celebrate Christmas. I'll be back before the gravy gets chilled, I promise.
I raised such a good child. Now hurry back.
Seems like a very small goose for a family this size.
And what of it, Five Claw? There are many in this world with far less than that. The divines bless those who work hard and punish those who don't. Come, there is more to see. As you see, the dragons are real. If the people of Tamriel didn't join forces to face this threat, all of Elsweyr would be destroyed.
It's not my responsibility to fund a war effort or fight dragons. They are here, not to Glenumbra.
This one thinks, what after when Elsweyr is gone?
No, this cannot be. Say he will be spared.
If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, none other of my race will find him here. But what difference does it make? If he is likely to die, then let him die and decrease the surplus population.
You use my own words against me.
Yes, so that in the future, perhaps you will hold your tongue until you've discovered what the surplus population is and where it is. Who are you to decide who shall live and who shall die? It may be that in the sight of the divines, you are more worthless and less fit to live than millions like this poor child. Come, there is one more for you to see.
No. No. Ghost of Christmas Past had no power to change things, but surely you have that power. You are here in the present. Surely you or some other emissary from the realm can provide for this boy.
The boy did not die from the dragon. He survived but was badly injured. Without proper supplies to care for the injured, many more will share this fate. The power to change the world lies not in my realm, but in the realm of the living.
Have they no refuge or resource?
Are there no prisons? Are there no slaver camps?
Is there no happiness in Christmas present?
There is.
Take me there.
It is at the lands far to the east of Blackwood.
Swamp! Oh, I'd rather not.
Since there is none.
But that isn't enough. You must teach me.
Would you have a teacher, Scrooge? Look at your own words.
But the first spirit showed me more.
He was Christmas past, a lifetime he could choose from. I have only this day, one day, and you, Scrooge. I have nearly lived my fill of both. Christmas present must be gone at midnight. That is near now. Come.
And where is this place?
This is Hutan-Tzel. It is a modest dwelling, but a happy one. The joy of Christmas can be found in every refuge, where vain men and mere in their little brief authority have not made fast the door and barred me out.
Oh, hist mystery, how beautiful are your branches. Oh, hist mystery, Oh, it's you. You come at a perfect time, my friend. Care to team up again for another bout of heroics?
Himjas, who's the Imperial in the cage?
He is part of the waking flame. Over there is where I gallantly apprehended the Imperial.
Really?
No. I tried to sneak behind the cultist, catch him unaware. It turns out that I am very, very loud. Feigning panic is an excellent way to set an opponent off guard. I will admit, it did not go exactly as planned. My new tribe does not think I should get involved myself. The opinion is shared by many, sadly.
Do you think having a captured waking flame might bring attention?
Do not let my humble appearance fool you. I am very canny, and I wield a fishhook at night better than any of my tribesmen.
Why are you with a different tribe?
My heart burns for more daring adventures. I have traveled far and wide doing heroic deeds wherever I go. I came here over a month ago to offer my services to this tribe, and it is clear they have need of me.
What do you need from me?
I need your help bringing culture to my new tribe. I am sure our combined heroism can bring the Christmas spirit to my village. Come, my friend, let our combined prowess teach that Christmas is good, kind, charitable, pleasant time. The only time when egg brothers and egg sisters keep their bellies to the mud and open their hearts to others as if they really were fellow hatchings to the hist. I read that somewhere.
How do we do that?
I am not sure. We can make saddle cured rabbit, mud nectar. I've already decorated the history.
Fish? As ornaments? They are...
Delicious, I know. I caught them 3 days ago. The tribe will be telling stories of this for many years to come, I am sure. The mighty Himjas with his faithful partner.
What about the cultist?
There you are. I've been looking all over for you. Even got lost once or twice. I did find an adorable sweets shop, though. They had these wonderful tiny cakes that were delicious.
Did you need something?
Right to business, huh? Not even a hi, good to see you? Fine, fine. Governor Cashew and I were talking. I think we have a plan. She wants to move the ambitions to the more defensible Fort Redmane after I send out the call for allies to help us.
A call for allies?
Right. Anyone with an army that can help us. You head to Leowin. I'm sure Captain Rion would be happy for the Ivory Brigade to lend a hand. Beyond that, what about anyone you helped here in Blackwood? Anyone have soldiers they can spare?
There may be some willing to help defend the fort.
That's great. My brother, Baragon, always told me that adventurers turn on the favors we collect along the way. Cracked acorns. I wonder when all this hero business is done if Investigator Vale will include us in her next story. You know, Investigator Vale and the heroes of Blackwood. She'll think of a clever name, something dashing.
You will be very impressed, I'm sure. I've had many adventures and victories. The great fishhook escapade, there was a great shell caper, the outrageous eel escape. They all have excellent names like that.
Who's your friend?
I don't have friends.
What? Had your head stuck in the swamp for the past few years? Did your acorns just drop out of a tree? When we met, we took care of all that Orky business in Orsinium. Then we discovered the journal that led to the ambitions, dealt with all those creepy cultists with the Imperial cachets, and this book. I've learned so much from you, and out of everyone, you're the only person I never lost faith in. We make a pretty good team, don't we?
Well,
And you were there for me when I was shot in the chest by that arrow.
Oh, I remember that.
It's Christmas Eve. We have some big trees to chop, and the faster we get to the point of that arrow, the more magical tomorrow will be. I wanted to ask if you could come with me to Valenwood and meet my family. First, I need to be as fast as a leaf on the wind. Could you hold this book for me? Carrying it around, it feels heavy. Just until we get to Fort Redmane, I can move faster than disappearing rabbit meatballs at a Nord banquet without it.
I'm not sure that I should.
I know. I trust you. I'll find you later after I escort Sombrin and the twins to the fort. We should get moving. Last one there is a sour gore apple.
Come, Five Claw. There is yet more to see.
Goodbye, my friend, and do not worry. If we run into any trouble, my quick reflexes will save us all. It is very, very quiet. That either means the Daedra have fled, or they have gathered in great numbers to kill us all. I hope it is the second. I am filled with sapien fury. Chaos.
Psst. Hey, you. Over here. Interest you in a fang of Azura? Perhaps some skooma? Maybe some toys for your kitties this Christmas Eve. A clockwork toy soldier, a lunar loop for endless hours of activity?
Humbug.
I see you're a man of business then. I have bank ledgers and dowry ledgers. How about the ledger of the East Empire Company? You could be rich.
Let me see that.
I knew you had the look of business about you. That's enough browsing, eh? Interested? You could control the market with what's in this ledger.
How much for this ledger?
You cannot buy this power with gold, my friend. For a toy, yes, but for this, knowledge is power, and I trade in knowledge.
Then you're wasting my time. I'm offering gold. I have nothing else.
Shame to see such an opportunity vanish. Once in a lifetime deal, What's that in your pocket?
What? Oh, it's nothing important.
Tell you what, nothing for something. Or you could walk away and always wonder what you could have been. Controlling the market, you could crush the East Empire with what's in here.
I really...
Imagine the power, friend, the wealth. Tell you what, I'll include a vintage copy of the lusty Argonian Maid.
This ledger? Fully intact? No missing pages?
By my honor.
Here. We never met.
Ah, a friend by no name. Kalia! Kalia!
Broken branches. What happened?
Vanquish sacrificed Destron, allowing Meru's Dagon to drag us into his realm. Heavily, where's the book you were carrying?
You know about that?
I do. It's a part of Dagon, just like Kalia and me. I sensed it the moment I met you. I think you can use it to weaken Vandacia and give us a fighting chance.
Scrooge, give Sombrin the book. In fact, I think I was meant to give it to Sombrin all along. Scrooge?
I don't have it.
What? What do you mean you don't have it? What aren't you telling me?
I, traded it.
You did what? What kind of person does something like that?
I didn't realize it.
Does that justify what you've done? Does that make you feel better? I thought the cultists were bad, that Vandacia betrayed us, but you're worse than either of them. You can be a bastard sometimes, you know that? Being a hero, that's supposed to be pure and honest. Good is good and evil is evil. Right now, I can't tell the good guys from the bad. I'm not even sure whose side you're on anymore. Sombrin, let's finish this so we can put this awful place behind us. This awful place and Scrooge.
Let's go find Kalia. We need her more than ever now.
She trusted you, looked up to you.
The world could be so cruel. I made a mistake.
Just because the world is cruel is no reason for you to be.
Spirit, you said the power to change the world lies not in my realm, but in the realm of the living.
I did.
Does that mean I have that power?
There may be hope yet, Five Claw. There just may be hope.
World? Sorry, the divine. What the?
Hello, fuckweasel.
Ah! Am I in the presence of the spirit of Christmas yet to come?
Does her seen shit in the woods?
Spirit, I fear you more than any specter I have seen. Are you here to show me the shadows of things that have not happened yet, but will happen in the future?
Look, this isn't Care Bear PvE Huggles time. We gotta be quick like bonies because time is short.
Lead on, then. Night is passing fast, and it's precious time to me. Lead on, spirit. Are we in Cyrodiil?
More specifically, we're at the Chalman.
The Chalman?
Chalman, that's what I said. Pay attention. What's wrong with this picture?
He's shooting down the gate with an arrow.
1 ram and 19 Covenant ballistas. 1 ram, 19 ballistas. Do you know why we use Covenant ballistas, Scrooge?
No.
I'll tell you why. Because they do more damage. Do you see 1 ram and 19 Covenant ballistas here?
No.
How am I supposed to give out peeps if I don't have 1 ram and 19 Covenant ballistas?
What's a peep?
You know, those tiny, somewhat delicious marshmallow treats. My warriors get peeps by putting down 20 siege, taking a keep, retrieving our scrolls, taking their scrolls, and smashing them in their stupid faces. And what's with the oil? You can't attack a fort with oil. Do you know why he is using oil?
No?
Because the prisons and slaver camps cost enough.
We are under siege.
There must be hundreds of them. They're zerging us.
How dare they zerg against us?
Quick, spam your dark convergence and destroy the front lines.
For the Queen!
For the Pact!
Oh, didn't see that coming.
What in the world's going on?
Wait for it. Cyrodiil lag, it's a feature. Oh look, a random loading screen!
Have these men no sense of decency or decorum? Spirit, what is this? What am I seeing?
With no funding and no support, and you not doing your daily writs, the Daggerfall Covenant has fallen. It went down faster than a tie hooker.
Spirit, this is a terrible place. I do not wish to stay. Let us leave here now, and leaving it, I shall not leave its lesson unlearned. Trust me. Let us go.
You still have a lesson left to learn.
Oh. Before I draw nearer to that stone to which you point, answer me one question. Are these to show the things that will be, or are they to show the things that may be only? No. No, no. This can't be. Am I that man? Am I the man who died alone? Spirit, say it isn't so! Spirit, hear me. I'm not the man I was. I will not be the man I must have been, but for your intervention. Am I past all hope? Oh, tell me that I may sponge away the writing on this stone.
Change, or you will be mercilessly mocked.
Where are we? How far into the future?
It's Christmas Eve, 1 year from today. This is what Christmas looks like. No decorated trees or children playing in the snow. No laughter or cheer, exchange of gifts. No Christmas feasts. After you sold the Mysterium Darcies, everything you knew was pulled into Dagon's realm. Many had died, and those who survived now reside in slaver camps or prisons.
Is that Bella in those racks? She's alive!
She's still alive because of her connection to you. Dagon's hero, as you will remember. Family she had, her friends, now resent her. So she has no choice. She's forced to serve him every day under the watch from the Dremora. Is that living Scrooge?
She's always so happy.
Does she look happy?
Please, Spirit, I will honor Christmas in my heart. I try to keep it all the year. I will remember the lessons of the past. I will live in the present. I will live toward the future. The spirits of all three will strive within me. I will not shout the lessons they will teach. Please, Spirit, please! Where am I? What day is this? It's morning, but what a day! How long have I been with the spirits? I don't know, but I'm alive! I'm alive! I don't know what to do. I feel as light as a feather. I must marry the schoolboy. I'm as giddy as a drunken Nord.
Nerd is saved! The Oblivion invasion repelled! Read all about it!
Hello! You, girl, what day is it?
What day is it?
Yes. What day is it today?
It's Christmas Day.
Christmas Day. Are you quite sure, my good fellow?
I should say I am.
And the spirits have done it all in one night. Why, of course they can. They can do anything they like. Of course they can. Hello, my fine fellow.
Hello.
Do you know the merchant down the street?
I should hope I do.
What a wonderful, dear, remarkable girl. Do you know whether she sold the prize turkey that was hanging up there?
What, the one as big as me?
What a delightful girl. Pleasure talking with her. Yes, my lass, the one as big as you.
It's hanging there now.
It is? Why, then you must go and buy it. Yes, go and buy it now this very instant.
Guards!
Oh, no. I really do mean it. Go and buy it and tell them to deliver it to Bella's house. Come back and I'll give you 10 gold. Have it delivered in less than 5 minutes and I'll give you 1,000 crowns. She will know who sent it, and I won't tell her. Oh, it's twice the size of Tim. Tim! Oh, Tim will live on my soul. Tim will live. They did it all in one night. Oh, the spirits of Christmas past, present, and future shall strive within me. Oh, divine and Christmas time be praised for this. I say it on my knees, sweet Mara. On my knees. A Merry Christmas to everybody. Oh dear. Oh dear me, I forgot to dress. Ooh, my comrades! How do you do? I do hope you did well yesterday. It was a very good thing. A very good thing!
Mr. Scrooge?
Oh, yes. That's my name. I fear this is very pleasant to you. Allow me to ask your forgiveness, and yours too, sir.
Yes, sir.
And will you have the goodness? I want you to have this.
Divines bless me! My dear Mr. Scrooge, are you quite serious?
Oh, if you please, not a farthing less, and a great many back payments are included in it, I assure you. Will you do me a favor?
My dear sir, I don't know what to say to such a generous...
No, don't say anything. Please, come and see me sometime. Will you come and see me, the both of you?
We will.
Ah, thank you. I am much obliged to you. I thank you 50 times. Bless you both, and a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Would you believe it if I told you that Scrooge went to church that day? He did. And then he walked about the streets and watched the people hurrying to and fro, and patted children on the head as they passed, and questioned beggars, and looked down into the kitchens of houses, and up to the windows, and found that everything could yield him pleasure. He never dreamed that any walk, that anything at all, could give him so much happiness. In the afternoon, he turned his steps towards his niece's house.
Oh, Mother, it's beautiful. And it's too much. You shouldn't have spent so much.
I didn't. Hours ago, there was a strange knock, and this girl gave us this prize turkey.
May I ask, from whom?
She didn't say, and ran off without a further word.
A strange knock. There it is.
Now, who can that be?
I don't know. No one's expected at this hour.
Hello, Bella!
Uncle Scrooge!
Uncle Scrooge!
Oh, the very thing. It is I, your Uncle Scrooge. I recall an invitation you made to me yesterday to come and dine with you. If that invitation is still in force, I should like to accept it.
Why, I don't know what to say.
Well, you could say, bah humbug! A retort I heartily repent of and shall never use again. Or you could say, come in!
Come in? Why, of course you shall come in. Hurrah! Uncle Scrooge, you've made me very happy.
I am so sorry not being around, for being there as you grew, and sorry that I could not have been a better family member to you. I see your mother's face in you, but that was the old Ebenezer.
Of course, Uncle. I'm so glad that you're here. Pray, what changed your mind?
The ghost of Baron changed my mind. The spirit of Christmas, past, present, and future changed my mind. You were right, Bella. But Christmas is a kind, forgiving, and charitable time. A time when men and mirth open their hearts and think of their fellow kin. A time for mercy, charity, and benevolence. And so, I will honor Christmas and keep it all year. And I say, along with you all, the divine blessing.
Oh, Uncle, I could not be happier.
And therefore, my dearest niece, I am going to double your salary. Yes, Bella Cratchit. I'm going to double your salary. A Merry Christmas to you. A Merry Christmas than I have ever given you for many a year. And from now on, I will endeavor to assist your family in any way that I can.
The war is over! The Daggerfall Covenant has won. The Elf Queen has run off and eloped with the Nord King. Both armies have abandoned their posts. I saw the Nords flirting with the Bosmer, the Khajiits cozying it up with the Dunmer, and the Elves intertwining with the Argonians.
Now that's a scale breaker.
The war is over. A Merry Christmas to all.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all, and infinitely more. He became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good a man as the good old city knew. And every afterward it was always said of Ebenezer Scrooge that he knew how to keep Christmas, and keep it well. If any man alive possessed the knowledge, may that be truly said of us, and all of us, until the trial of the ages. 1 year after his miraculous transformation, Ebenezer Scrooge seems to have reverted to his old ways. Scrooge indignantly files suit against Baron Aquilarius and the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. But charges: breaking and entering, kidnapping, attempted murder, and the intentional infliction of emotional distress. Now, if you may, allow me to get into character.
Oh, good morning, Your Honor.
What's good about it?
It's snowing.
It was a
Christmas Eve.
rhetorical question.
There's joy. Oh, big trial starts today.
I'm well aware of that fact.
The papers are calling it the trial of the ages.
The papers should concern themselves with news and not sensationalism.
Well, everyone in the world will be following this trial.
Everyone should be finding something better to do.
But
the trial is a waste of time, Miss Copperton, my time, and I do not like to waste my time. And to make matters worse, I'll be forced to suffer the sickening sweet courtroom proceedings of Mr. Renault.
People like him.
The people don't have to tolerate him on a daily basis.
Would you please state your full name for the court, Selina Harbert? Miss Harbert, may I call you Selina?
Mark me, every witness.
He's just doing his job.
As should you. As for Mr. Renault, I wish he'd do his job somewhere else. I find him to be an annoying, dodgish irritant in my courtroom.
I haven't heard who's representing Mr. Scrooge.
He's representing himself.
Why?
Because he's cheap.
All rise. The Honorable Judge Flavius. Hey! All rise! All rise! That's better.
You go, girl.
Be seated. Court is now in session, entered on this 24th day of the second age, 584, by Ebenezer Scrooge. A complaint of attempted murder, kidnapping, breaking and entering, trespassing, stalking, slander, pain and suffering, and the intentional infliction of emotional distress against Baron Aquilarius and the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. How do your clients plead, Mr. Renault?
Oh, not guilty, Your Honor.
Very well. Opening remarks. Mr. Scrooge.
Humbug!
That's it. That's your opening.
Yes, that's what I think of Mr. Aquilarius and his hooligan friend. Humbug!
Mr. Scrooge, perhaps if you reconsider legal representation.
I am quite capable of representing myself.
Very well. Mr. Renault.
Merry Christmas.
Objection!
Mr. Scrooge, you may not object to Mr. Renault's opening statement.
I find the phrase Merry Christmas objectionable.
As much as you find the phrase Merry Christmas objectionable, you may not legally object to it during the opening remarks. Again, I urge you to reconsider legal.
I am still capable of representing myself.
Then it will come to no surprise to someone as knowledgeable as yourself regarding courtroom procedure that it is common courtesy to refer to me as Your Honor.
I am well aware of that courtesy.
Sit down, Mr. Scrooge, and not a word from you during Mr. Renault's opening remarks. Mr. Renault.
Thank you, Your Honor. Happy New Life. Now, this trial is not about attempted murder. It's not about kidnapping,
It's not about slander or trespassing, but I do agree with Mr. Scrooge on one point. This trial is about pain and suffering. The pain of a lost soul. The pain and suffering endured by Mr. Scrooge because he had lost the Christmas spirit. Now, 1 year ago this very night, Mr. Scrooge's closest and only friend went to extraordinary measures. Extraordinary measures to heal that pain and suffering. Baron Aquilarius, along with the spirits of Christmas past, present, and future, came to Mr. Scrooge. And they challenged him. They challenged him to look beyond the darkness of his cold, shriveled soul, to look beyond his vicious and malicious ways, to look beyond the pain and suffering, and look into the bosom and the belly of the miraculous and awe-inspiring spirit of Christmas. And you know what happened? You know what happened when Mr. Scrooge took a good hard look into a life brimming with the spirit of Christmas? Mr. Scrooge found his heart, his happiness, and his compassion, because Mr. Scrooge found the Christmas spirit. We all saw that change in him. How could we not? His soul had a new life. His heart laughed, and we laughed with him. He was merciful. He was charitable. It was a pleasure and a joy to be near. Now the unthinkables happened. Mr. Scrooge's heart has grown cold again. Mr. Scrooge's soul is shut up again. Mr. Scrooge's life is merciless, malignant, and malevolent again because Mr. Scrooge has lost his Christmas spirit. And if that wasn't enough, as if a fall of man wasn't enough, as if the souring of the wondrous milk of human kindness wasn't enough, Mr. Scrooge now wants to punish those benevolent, selfless souls who brought about the miraculous change in him a year ago. My clients didn't murder Mr. Scrooge. They didn't kidnap him. They didn't harass or harm him. But what they did do was go to extraordinary measures to heal the pain by helping him find his Christmas spirit. And for that, my clients should not be punished. They should be embraced and loved.
Mr. Scrooge, you may call your first witness.
No witnesses.
You're joking, right?
No.
Why me? Mr. Renault.
I'd like to call to the stand the ghost of Christmas present.
The ghost of Christmas present. Will the ghost of Christmas present please come forward?
Oh, I just saw her outside.
Miss Copperton, find her. Would you like to call another witness, Mr. Renault?
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to call to the stand Ms. Bella Cratchit. Oh, would you please state your full name for the court?
Bella Cratchit.
Miss Cratchit, may I call you Bella?
By the divine.
Bella is fine.
Bella, what is your relationship to Mr. Scrooge?
I am his niece and the clerk at Scrooge and Varon.
And you work for both Mr. Scrooge and Mr. Varon?
Only Mr. Scrooge.
Well, why don't you work for Varon?
Well, Varon is dead to begin with.
Dead?
Yes, sir.
Well, we see dead on the night in question.
Yes, sir.
You're positive?
There is no doubt whatsoever about that. The burial was signed by the guard captain, the undertaker, the priest of Archay, and...
Go on.
Mr. Scrooge.
So on the night in question, Varon was dead as a doornail.
Objection!
Sustained. Mr. Renault, you made your point. There is no doubt that Varon was dead. Let's move on.
Bella, in your opinion, what kind of man is Mr. Scrooge?
Well, he's thrifty.
And how long have you worked for Mr. Scrooge?
8 years.
And in those 8 years, have you and Mr. Scrooge ever had a drink together after work?
No, sir.
Ever had him over for dinner?
No.
Have you ever had dinner at his house?
Mr. Scrooge is secretive and self-contained and solitary as a chubloon.
Objection!
Establishing character, Your Honor.
Be quick about it. Overruled.
Bella, let's talk about the night in question, Christmas Eve. Do you remember where you were that day?
Yes, sir. I was at work.
Of all the good days of the year, on Christmas Eve you were working.
Yes, sir. I had to work the whole day.
Now, do you recall what that day was like? It was quite cold that day, as I recall.
Yes, it was cold, bleak, biting weather.
But you had the warmth of your office to protect you from the elements.
Not quite.
No, you didn't have a fire blazing on the inside of the successful offices of Scrooge and Varon.
No, sir. External heat and cold have very little influence on Mr. Scrooge. It seems that no warmth warms him, nor wintry wind chills him.
But surely you had some sort of fire burning.
A very small one.
How small?
1 candle.
1 candle?
Yes, sir.
Well, that hardly constitutes a fire.
Mr. Scrooge's orders.
Miss Copperton?
I found her, but she...
In a minute.
But,
Miss Copperton, you may continue, Mr. Renal.
So on the coldest day of the year, Mr. Scrooge wouldn't allow you to burn more than 1 candle?
No, sir.
Did you ask him if you could light a fire?
He has said that if I light a fire, my services would no longer be needed.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Scrooge, you're a witness.
Miss Cratchit, I'm sorry. Did you say you work Christmas Day?
No, sir. I said I work Christmas Eve.
I'm sorry. I thought you said Christmas Day.
No, you gave me Christmas Day off, remember?
Ah, that's right. I have no more questions at this time.
You may step down, Miss Cratchit. Mr. Renal, your next witness.
I'd like to call to the stand Mr. Varon Aquilarius.
Mr. Scrooge, you were given an opportunity to call your witness.
I've changed my mind.
Your Honor, if Mr. Scrooge would like to call a witness now, I shall happily yield the floor to him.
Oh, very well. Mr. Varon Aquilarius?
Would you please tell the court who you are?
Ask me who I was.
You're rather particular for a shadow.
Your objection, badgering the witness.
Sustained. Mr. Scrooge.
Who were you then?
In life, I was your partner, Varon Aquilarius.
In life? When did you die?
8 years ago. 8 years ago this very night. Christmas Eve.
Oh. It wasn't a very Merry Christmas for you, was it?
Objection.
Sustained. Mr. Scrooge.
Oh, yes, I know. Mr. Aquilarius, in those 8 years, have we ever seen each other?
We've seen each other twice, but I have seen you many times.
Oh, where have you seen me?
As part of my penance, I am forced to sit invisible beside you many and many a day.
Mr. Aquilarius, that's known as stalking.
Objection.
Overruled.
The 2 times we saw each other, when was that?
A year ago, today.
Both times on the same day?
Yes.
Where did we see each other the first time?
at your front door.
Do you recall where I was standing?
On your doorstep.
And where were you?
I was on the other side of your gate.
Ah, rather odd place to greet someone, don't you think? Why were you there?
To warn you of my impending visit.
You came to me on the other side of my gate to warn me that you were going to make a visit. Why not talk to me then? Mr. Aquilarius, I didn't hear your answer. Why didn't you talk to me then?
I don't know.
Do you recall what I did next?
You went inside.
And you were left at my gate?
No, I had already left.
Where did you go?
I went inside your house.
Without being invited in?
Yes.
That's trespassing, Mr. Aquilarius.
Objection.
Overruled.
Where did we see each other next?
In your bedchamber.
Again, Mr. Aquilarius, I don't remember inviting you into my bedchamber.
I came to offer you a chance and hope of escaping my fate.
You entered my bedchamber through a locked door, did you not?
A chance and hope of my procuring Ebenezer.
Did you or did you not enter my bedchamber uninvited through a locked door?
A chance and hope.
Mr. Aquilarius, answer the question. Did you or did you not enter Mr. Scrooge's bedchamber uninvited through a locked door?
I did.
And what exactly was this chance and hope you offered me that night?
A visitation of 3 spirits who would...
Visitation? I believe your exact words were, you will be haunted by 3 spirits. Woo! Does that sound correct, Mr. Aquilarius?
Maybe.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits. Not you will be visited by 3 spirits, but you will be haunted. There's a distinct difference between these 2 words. The word visit implies someone popping in for a bit of me. The word haunted conjures images of threatening horror, terror, and fear. On the night in question, you broke into my house to threaten, terrorize, and haunt me.
It was for your own good.
You admit to it?
It was for your own good, Ebenezer.
Oh, if it was for my own good, why did you wait 8 years?
As part of my penance, I am condemned to travel the world.
And yet you just admitted that you have sat beside me many and many a day. Which is it, Mr. Aquilarius? I have no more questions.
Your witness, Mr. Renault.
Mr. Aquilarius, may I call you Varen?
Oh, for the love of...
Yes, you may.
Varen, you're fettered. Tell me why.
I wear the chain I forged in life, and of my own free will. Is its pattern strange to you, Ebenezer?
Order!
Or would you know the length and the weight of the chain you bear yourself?
Mr. Aquilarius.
It is a ponderous chain.
Mr. Aquilarius, order. If you cannot control yourself, I will have you held on contempt.
Oh, I apologize, Your Honor. My client's under a great deal of strain.
He's not the only one.
Now, Varen, you mentioned you're serving some sort of penance.
If that spirit goes not forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death.
And your spirit never went forth? You obviously were a good man of business.
Business? Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance were all my business. I tried to protect Nern by desiring to light the dragon fire.
must be very painful.
No rest. No sleep.
And despite your overwhelming fatigue, your unfathomable exhaustion, you were able to summon the strength to visit your old friend Ebenezer Scrooge.
I came to offer a chance and hope of escaping my fate.
But why didn't you come to him earlier?
I didn't fill out the proper papers. They put me on an 8-year waiting list.
They?
The three spirits.
You mean to tell me there's an 8-year wait for the three spirits?
It's nearly impossible to get an appointment.
If they're that busy.
Many Ebenezer Scrooges walk Nern and are in need of their services.
No more questions, Your Honor.
You may step down, Mr. Aquilarius.
Look to see me no more. And look for your own sake. You remember what has passed between us.
I trust there will be no more outbursts and we may continue this trial in an orderly fashion. Mr. Renault, your next witness.
Yes, I'd like to call to the stand the ghost of Christmas Present.
The ghost of Christmas Present.
Not living up to her name, is she?
Miss Copperton, where is she?
I tried to tell you. She said she doesn't have time for this trial.
Doesn't have time.
She says her time upon Nern is very brief and she has other business to attend to.
Tell her her business is within these four walls and nowhere else.
I did, but she refuses to come in.
What is she doing that is so important?
She's sprinkling powder in people's food.
What?
When they're not looking.
Hey, there's something peculiar in that powder.
Miss Copperton, go outside and force her into this courtroom.
I don't want to mess with her. I've never seen the likes of her before.
Miss Copperton.
She says she has more than 1,800 brothers.
Miss Copperton.
I don't like them odds.
Miss Copperton, she is sprinkling an unknown substance into people's food. Miss Copperton, now. Would you like to call another witness, Mr. Renault?
Oh, I'll wait.
I'd like to call to the stand the ghost of Christmas Past.
Mr. Scrooge, you may not.
Your Honor, again, I happily yield the floor to Mr. Scrooge.
Very well. The ghost of Christmas Past.
Please tell the court who you are.
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, your past.
Are you one of the spirits whose coming was foretold by Mr. Aquilarius?
I am.
On the night in question, whose company? On the night in question, what business brought you to my house?
Your welfare.
Did it ever occur to you that a night of uninterrupted sleep would have been more conducive to that end?
Fine. Your reclamation, then.
And that included kidnapping me?
Objection.
Sustained.
The spirit kidnapped me.
Your Honor, Mr. Scrooge was not kidnapped.
I was forcibly taken out of my house against my wishes.
Your Honor, look at my client. He's as fragile as a child.
Though fragile as a skeleton's hand, his grasp was not to be resisted.
Order! I will determine at the end of this trial whether Mr. Scrooge did or did not go of his own volition.
Spirit, did you take me, clad only in my dressing gown, nightcap, and slippers, through the bedchamber window and out of my house?
I did.
Subjecting me, a mere mortal, to the very real possibility of falling to my death?
With my hand upon your heart, you were more than upheld.
I don't know how things are in your little netherworld, Spirit, but this world is known as kidnapping and endangerment. No more questions.
Mr. Renault.
Ghost of Christmas Past. May I call you Past?
Oh, stab me.
You may.
Thank you. Past, you said the reason that you visited Mr. Scrooge was his reclamation. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Was Mr. Scrooge in need was he in need of reclamation?
Indeed he was, sir.
And did you kidnap Mr. Scrooge?
By the stars, no.
Objection?
Overruled.
Well, Mr. Scrooge says you did.
Mr. Scrooge is mistaken.
Objection!
Overruled.
He's lying.
Order.
I am not mistaken. I was kidnapped by this apparition.
Mr. Scrooge, order. Now sit down.
Now, let's say that you did kidnap Mr. Scrooge.
I didn't.
Look, I know.
Well, why then did you say I did?
Well, for the sake of argument.
I'd rather not argue.
I'm just trying to make a point.
Very well, go on.
So let's say you came into Mr. Scrooge's room and kidnapped him. What did you tie him up with? Rope?
No.
Sheets?
No.
Oh, chains like Mr. Aquilarius?
No, I did not tie up Mr. Scrooge.
Or did you hold his arms and legs so he couldn't move?
Nope.
Or throw him in a sack?
Nope.
Knock him unconscious?
I did not.
Did you use some secret invisible ghostly power to immobilize him?
I could have, but I didn't.
Now, I'm confused.
Oh, that's not surprising.
Mr. Scrooge alleges that you kidnapped him. Now, how did you force Mr. Scrooge to go with you?
I did not force Mr. Scrooge. I merely touched his heart.
Something I'm sure Mr. Scrooge hasn't felt in years.
Objection!
Sustained.
So you got Mr. Scrooge out of his room. What did you ask for ransom? Gold?
No.
The release of trapped spirits?
No, I sought nothing from him.
Again, I'm confused.
Because you're an idiot.
Mr. Scrooge, you are trying my already limited patience with you. Another outburst like that and I will throw you in jail until the only way to remove you from that cell would be to sweep out your ashes.
So you didn't force Mr. Scrooge out of his room, and you didn't ask for any sort of ransom?
I did not.
And if you didn't immobilize Mr. Scrooge, then what exactly prevented him from escaping?
Exactly nothing.
Objection?
Overruled.
The ghost is perjurizing himself.
Perhaps you mean perjuring.
That is a perjurious poltergeist.
Mr. Scrooge.
He's lying!
I know what the word means, Mr. Scrooge. You were given the opportunity to question the spirit. It is now Mr. Renault's turn. Now sit down. Mr. Renault.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Past, you said Mr. Scrooge was free to leave.
He was.
At any time?
He needed only to touch the bottom of my staff, and he would have been back in his bedroom.
Well, that's a powerful staff.
I am a powerful ghost.
Uh-huh. Not as fragile as he looks, huh?
Mr. Scrooge.
Well, how exactly does that staff work?
It extinguishes my light.
Your light?
The light of one's past.
And that's where you took Mr. Scrooge, is it not, to revisit his past?
Too often we forget the past and who we truly are.
No further questions, Your Honor. Now I'd like to call to the witness stand Ms. Narrator Gautier.
Very well. Mrs. Narrator Gautier.
Are you?
Would you please state your full name for the court?
Nario Virian Gautier.
Miss Gautier, would you...
You can call me Nari.
Ha ha! Thank you, Nari. What is your relationship to Mr. Scrooge?
I was engaged to him once.
And how long were you and Mr. Scrooge engaged?
Our agreement to marry was an old one.
Would it be safe to say several years?
Yes.
But you were never married.
I never married Mr. Scrooge, no.
But why didn't you and Mr. Scrooge marry?
Another idol displaced me.
Oh, another woman?
No, the arrogant, vain, self-important, stuck-up person he became.
But was Mr. Scrooge always like that?
When we were engaged, he was a young adventurer like me, and we were both content to be so. But I watched his nobler aspirations fall off one by one, until his passion for me ceased to exist, and his master passion, fame, engrossed him.
Well, how did that make you feel?
Unloved, miserable, disgusted.
And how exactly did it end between the two of you?
Knowing that I was no longer loved, I released him. It was better that way.
Well, in what way?
Crossing me, he would have never seen my blades before they plunged through his heart.
And what was Mr. Scrooge's reaction?
Indifference.
How did that make you feel?
I wanted a hot bath, a nice long soak with a few glasses of fine wine. You know, I loved Ebenezer once.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Scrooge, your witness.
Mrs. Gautier, when did that happen? After you released me?
Yes.
Did I ever ask for release?
In words, no.
In what way, then?
If we had not had an agreement to marry, would you have sought me out and tried to win me?
Miss Virian.
Mrs. Gautier.
Please answer the question. If I did not ask for a release in words, in what way did I ask for release?
Can I believe you would have chosen a girl that wasn't looking for fame and glory?
I recall I did choose a girl that wasn't looking for fame and glory.
Yes, you did, but you changed.
How so?
You began with wanting more attention and refusing to help others.
I became a hero, yes, but I wasn't changed towards you.
When you asked for my hand, you were another man.
I was a young adventurer, but barely a man.
What do you want, hero? You want me to say you're right? Fine. You're right, damn it. But you changed, and if for a moment you were false to your one guiding principle, did I not know that repentance and regret would surely follow?
You made an assumption.
Objection.
Oh, I did I?
Badgering the witness.
Miss Virian.
My name is Mrs. Gautier.
Overruled.
I was young, a boy.
Your own feelings tell you that you're not what you were.
And what am I?
A lonely old man intent on nothing but the pursuit of oneself.
This is the even-handed dealing of the world. There is nothing on which it is so hard as being a beggar, and there is nothing it professes to condemn with such severity as being a hero to all.
Objection. Your Honor, can't you control Mr. Scrooge and what he's doing? This is...
You fear being a name too much.
Don't tell me how to run my courtroom.
I was providing for your future of comfort.
My comfort meant little. To you, very little. I was merely a girl. That was
You were
good.
not just a
Damn
girl.
good with a blade.
You were not just a girl. You were going to be my wife. I did not ask for release. You assumed and walked out on me.
Why didn't you stop me? If I meant so much to you, why did you just walk away?
I don't know.
After all these years and you still don't know? You let me walk away because my heart wouldn't bring you any monetary gain.
That wasn't the reason, Naryu.
You didn't love me anymore.
I did love you, Naryu. I still do.
Why didn't you say that then?
I was a fool. No more questions.
Mrs. Gautier, you may step down. Mr. Scrooge?
It's just a pimple.
Mr. Renal, your next witness.
Yes, Your Honor, I'd like to call to the stand the ghost of Christmas present.
Okay, the ghost of Christmas present. Will the ghost of Christmas present please come forward? Miss Copperton, there you are.
She got away.
Got away how?
I don't know. 1 minute she was yelling at people to touch her robe, and the next she was just gone.
Where did she go?
She just vanished into thin air.
Miss Copperton, ghosts just don't vanish into thin air. Well, it's the Lions Guard problem now. So who wants to call a witness now?
Your Honor, I'd like to call to the stand the ghost of Christmas yet to come.
The ghost of Christmas yet to come.
Hello, fuck weasels. How do you like that for an entrance? You're dismissed.
Oh, that was quite the entrance.
Well, we're all about showmanship here.
Well, thank you for being here. Would you please state your full name for the court?
I am the ghost of Christmas yet to come.
The ghost of Christmas yet to come. May I call you Future?
You may.
Now, Future, on the night in question, did you visit Mr. Scrooge?
Indeed I did.
And what exactly was the purpose of your visit?
Redemption.
But he tried to kill me.
Sit down, Mr. Scrooge.
Ask him. Go ahead, ask him.
Mr. Scrooge.
Did you try to kill Mr. Scrooge?
No, of course not.
Liar!
All right, calm down there, little buddy. You don't need to yell.
Murder!
What's this guy's deal?
Because you tried to kill me.
I've never killed anyone. At least not anyone that didn't deserve it.
He's lying.
Look, Weenie, if I wanted you dead, you wouldn't be standing there yammering like an idiot. Although it is tempting.
Oh, you're not the only one. Sit down, Mr. Scrooge.
So Mr. Scrooge says that you tried to kill him.
Well, Mr. Scrooge can kiss my spectral posterior.
So on the night in question, did you kidnap Mr. Scrooge?
No.
But how did you force him to go with you?
Well, I didn't force him. He went on his own.
And where did you take him?
Back to the future, of course.
Well, Mr. Scrooge's future, I'm assuming, that if he didn't change his ways, is that correct?
Indeed.
And what was his future like?
Oh, it was bad.
How bad?
Well, he was dead to begin with.
Well, exactly how far in the future did you take him?
About 4 days.
Well, that's hardly the future.
Well, he hardly had a future left.
So are you saying that on the night in question, if he didn't make a change in his life, then Mr. Scrooge only had 4 days to live?
Give or take a few hours.
And did your visit have any effect on Mr. Scrooge?
Oh, he cried like the Ebonheart Pact does when they lose a campaign, and he promised to keep Christmas in his heart all year.
That bad. He promised to keep Christmas in his heart.
A promise he made on his knees.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you. No more questions, Your Honor.
Earlier, Mr. Aquilarius expressed his frustration with scheduling an appointment. An 8-year wait. That's quite a workload. When do you get a day off?
Oof. We only get off from Christmas Day until Christmas Eve.
You only work one day out of the year?
Well, one night. It's a really busy night.
One night of the entire year? No wonder there's an 8-year wait. Have you ever considered working a few more hours?
For the ghost of Christmas, we only come once a year.
That's what she said!
Miss Copperton!
Yeah!
Miss Copperton, continue, Mr. Scrooge.
On the night in question, you took me to Cyrodiil, did you not?
Yes!
Why did you take me there?
Did you know I give out peeps?
Answer the question.
Those tiny, some would say delicious yellow marshmallow chickens?
Oh, you don't want to admit you tried to kill me.
Again with the killing, what's with you?
You took me to Cyrodiil and tried to induce me into having a heart attack by showing me this. My dead body.
Oh boy, here we go.
Did you or did you not show me this on the night in question?
I did, but it wasn't.
Did you continually point at it to get me to open the coffin?
Yes, but it wasn't.
Forcing me to see my own dead body, thereby frightening me into having a heart attack.
No!
You're lying.
Objection, my client is not lying.
Oh, well, then why show me this? Why show me this if I was past all hope? Well, I'll tell you why. Because the spirit of Christmas is a cold-hearted murderer.
No!
Murderer!
I'd like to point out you're still alive.
Red rum! That's not the point.
I didn't murder anyone!
There was no one else at Fort Chalman at that time. Look, no. Oh, I understand you. You're trying to finish now what you didn't finish a year ago. Oh, I won't do it. I won't do it.
Mr. Scrooge, open the coffin.
What are you saying?
I'm saying, open the coffin.
Well,
open it!
I haven't the power.
You may not, but I do. Miss Copperton.
I think I'd rather not.
Now.
Please?
Now!
No! No! With merciful heaven, wait. Baron?
Mr. Aquilarius, what is the meaning of this?
Where's my dead body?
Mr. Aquilarius.
Does anyone have any smelling salts?
Never mind that. Where is Mr. Scrooge's dead body?
It was in the coffin.
Did you see it in the coffin?
No, I just thought that,
What do I pay you for, Miss Copperton?
Well, I sweep the floors.
Mr. Aquilarius?
Oh, wait, that was a rhetorical question, wasn't it?
Mr. Aquilarius, where is Mr. Scrooge's dead body? Arrest him, Miss Copperton. Now.
Your Honor, my client...
Your client has stolen evidence.
I'm sure there's a logical explanation for this.
Oh, I'd like to hear it.
Of course, Your Honor. Just one moment, please. I didn't do that. Okay. Varon, where is Mr. Scrooge's dead body? Future. You're useless. Christmas past. Where you at?
No. This is not good.
Oh, past good. You haven't seen Mr. Scrooge's dead body lying about anywhere, have you? Your Honor, I would like to request a brief recess, please.
Not until your clients tell us what they did with Mr. Scrooge's dead body.
Your Honor, my clients may not have anything to do with the disappearance.
Aquilarius was laying in the coffin where Mr. Scrooge's dead body should have been.
Yes, but he's also testified to getting no sleep and no rest. Perhaps he just needed a quick cat nap.
If your clients don't tell us what happened this instant, I'm going to throw every single one of you in a dungeon. Now for the last time, where is Mr. Scrooge's dead body?
There is no dead body!
What?
There never was a dead body.
But I saw my dead body.
It wasn't your dead body.
That wasn't my dead body in the coffin?
No.
If it wasn't my dead body, then who or what was in the coffin that night? Barry.
Bound in double iron.
Don't you dare touch him.
Treasonous worm.
Order.
Spineless, lily-livered, belly-aching hawker.
Order. Order? What is the meaning of this?
He forced us to do it.
I didn't force them.
Liar.
Our best chance.
Forced.
Order.
Forced you to do what?
He forced us to break the rules.
Rules? What rules?
Well, when we show someone their future, we're not allowed to use a dead body. I don't make the rules here.
You're not allowed to use a dead body?
No. Tombstones? Yes. Dead bodies? No. But Mr. Aquilarius didn't think a tombstone would be enough to scare Mr. Scrooge into changing his ways, so he forced us to use a dead body.
I didn't.
Forced.
Force.
That was you in my coffin? Did you fabricate anything else that night?
Well, technically your entire future.
That wasn't my future?
It was an approximation?
You approximated my future.
Well, we approximate everyone's future.
What?
We speculate. That's where the word specter comes from.
So, on the night in question, you intentionally deceived and frightened me into changing my ways with a fabricated future and a counterfeit corpse.
It was for your own good.
Mr. Aquilarius, you and your spirits of Christmas are nothing but smooth-talking, double-dealing, self-righteous charlatans who terrorize people in the name of redemption.
Mr. Scrooge, sit down.
Your Honor, this is starting
You too, Mr. Renault.
But Your Honor, just
not another word.
Just throw them all into the...
Not another word. Now sit down, all of you. Not you, Miss Copperton.
Sorry.
In all my years, I have never witnessed a more reprehensible assemblage than I have today. You have collectively made a mockery of my courtroom with your abhorrent and impertinent behavior. If I could work my will, every last one of you would be boiled in your own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through your heart.
Surely you don't mean that.
And you'd be the first. There will be no closing arguments. I have heard more than enough to pass judgment. Although Mr. Scrooge failed to present overwhelming evidence that anyone, living or deceased, attempted to kidnap or murder him, he did provide, in a rather uncustomary way, evidence of trespassing, breaking and entering, stalking, pain and suffering, and the intentional infliction of emotional distress. Furthermore, I found that he was more overwhelming evidence, including by his own admission, that Mr. Aquilarius carefully plotted, contrived, conspired the events on the night in question, and without his stratagem, none of these events would have occurred. Therefore, I find Mr. Aquilarius and the ghosts of Christmas past, present, future guilty of said charges and condemn them all to a fine of 10,000 gold each and a termination of all their ghostly duties.
I've won?
Yes.
I've won? I won! Ooh, I don't know what to do! I feel as light as a feather. I'm as merry as a schoolboy. I'm as giddy as a drunken Nord.
Make your giddiness elsewhere. This court is
Your Honor, termination?
effective immediately.
But you can't terminate my clients from their spiritual obligation.
I just did, didn't I?
Well, they'll cease to exist. It's a death sentence.
It won't be much of a change for them, will it?
Your Honor, please reconsider community time. They'll pay twice the fine, triple anything, but not termination.
That's enough, Mr. Renault. This court is...
But Mr. Scrooge made a promise, a verbal agreement.
Ah, yes. Yes, Mr. Renault. I made a promise. A promise made on my knees to honor the spirit of Christmas and to keep the spirit alive within all my heart all the year.
And you have broken that verbal agreement.
On the contrary. I did not shut out the lessons the spirits taught me. The lessons of all three have thrived within me.
Well, I beg to differ.
Bella Cratchit is the highest paid clerk in all of Glenumbra. Stormhaven. In fact, in all of the Daggerfall Covenant, I dare say. I have given gold to the charities, done my daily writs, helped Rigger prepare a feast, gave aid to the fight against the dragon, and even patted orphan children on their heads.
Well, congratulations. The lessons of the spirits of Christmas worked.
Oh, but why should I keep Christmas all year long, or at all for that matter, and the ones who forced me to doing so fail to do so themselves?
They don't fail to keep it.
By their own mission, the spirits of Christmas appear only once a year.
Yes, because Christmas comes only once a year.
The poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of Evening Star.
Well, if you think charity, mercy, and benevolence is picking your pocket...
Oh, you forget? Oh, you forget? You lost this trial.
Mr. Scrooge, I beg you, none without the spirits of Christmas is just...
This morning star through sun's dusk. But one more month.
Your Honor, please.
It's not my business. This court is...
Hey!
What?
Why?
I'll tell you what I'll do, Miss Britton. Make you an offer. Can't refuse. I'll drop all charges if your clients agree to work more than 1 day a year.
Are you serious?
Quite serious.
Thank you, Mr. Scrooge. Thank you. My clients will be more than willing to double their workload.
Oh, no. 2 days won't do.
Well, how many days will do?
I don't know. Shall we say every day?
Oh, every day?
Oh, Mr. Scrooge, please be reasonable.
Oh, I am being reasonable.
Yeah, but you're demanding of my clients is...
I'm demanding of your clients exactly what they demanded of me.
Oh, but Mr. Scrooge,
That's my offer. Every day, or your clients cease to exist.
Well, I'm going to need several days to be able to discuss this with my clients.
What? They're right here!
Yeah, but Christmas present isn't present.
Now, Mr. Renault, or I rescind my offer.
Just one moment.
This is bullshit, bro. I saw this little sketch. We should throw him in the river. It ain't right.
It's too late. I've made my decision. This court is...
Wait, Mr. Scrooge, it's a bargain.
Oh, they accept my terms?
They do. They do.
The spirits of Christmas will thrive every single day?
They will.
Effective immediately?
Effective immediately. And all charges are dropped. Is that correct?
All charges are dropped.
Thank you, Mr. Scrooge.
But I keep all the gold they owe me.
But you said all the charges would be dropped.
All charges, yes, but not the gold.
Oh, Mr. Scrooge, this is not something...
So I may use it to start a fund for the homeless.
Are you well, Mr. Scrooge?
Oh, quite well, I assure you. You see, Mr. Renault, your clients weren't the only ones who had to go to extraordinary measures.
Oh, what? I don't understand. What do you mean?
Extraordinary measures. You should have seen your faces. You believed I was the man I was before. Well, not the man I was before, but the man I was before. But you see, you had to believe I was the man I was before, or nothing wonderful could have come of this trial. But I am not the man I was. I mean, I am not the man I was before. Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas, the merriest Christmas we've had in many a year.
Mr. Scrooge, you mean this whole trial has just been...
Extraordinary measures.
Mr. Scrooge, I don't know what to say.
Oh, don't say anything then.
You really are as good a friend and as good a man as the good old world has ever known.
Promises are right. Promise is a promise, right, Baron? And Mr. Renault. Oh, may I call you Glenn?
I would be honored.
Glenn, let it be said of us that we knew how to keep Christmas, the spirit of caring and generosity, in our hearts all the year long.
The divines bless us, everyone.
That's a remarkable girl. And now, I'd like to invite you all of you, to my house for a wonderful party with wonderful reindeer games and wonderful happiness.
You always were a good man of business, Ebenezer.
Mankind is my business, Bear. You taught me that. Sometimes it needs a good swift kick in the arse. Don't you agree, Your Honor?
I'm going to commit myself. Miss Copperton, you'll want the whole day tomorrow, I suppose?
If convenient.
It's not convenient. We have business to attend to the day after we begin the Argonian Maid versus Euron the Skald King. But I suppose you must have the whole day. Be here all the earlier the next.
Thank you, sir. And Merry Christmas.
Ah! Who's there?
Maybe
yes. We're closed.
Maybe
yes. Who's there?
Hi everyone, I'm Duck from Vanquish. Thank you for watching our latest production of an ESO Christmas Carol and Trial of the Ages. When we did our first show 3 years ago, we really didn't know what to expect. To Vanquish, thank you for your support, your encouragement, hearing your laughter, seeing the comments in chat, and encouraging others to go see it is what inspired us to continue. For the cast and crew, it's incredible what we accomplished. The amount of work you put forth, your time and dedication to give back to this community speaks volumes. And we did this together. Not only did we bring a story and laughter to Tamriel, but we also created a tradition, which means next year. To the community of ESO, thank you for your support, the reviews, the retweets, the mentions and discords. It's touched every cast member more than you could ever know. And finally to ZeniMax, if it wasn't for you and what you created for all of us here at Elder Scrolls Online, none of this would have ever been possible. A sincere thank you to everyone. A happy new life and a very Merry Christmas.
Why don't you do the duck?
Now, let me introduce your all-star cast members.
Oh my god, that was good.
Oh my god, I'm dead.
I am too. I can't breathe.
I can't even see. Oh, there are tears in my eyes right now.
Mine too.
Here we go, Ebenezer Scrooge, played by Siphonaire. Bella Cratchit, Lyris Titanborn, Everly Sharparrow, and the Town Crier, played by Dacerini. Tim Cratchit, Varen Aquilarius, Saisahan, Young Scrooge, and the DC Warrior, played by Christopher. Christopher is also our sound editor. Charity worker number 1, the Ghost of Christmas Past, shady character, Sombrin, and the EP Warrior, played by Fribblethorn. Fripp is also our music producer, music editor, music performer. Charity worker number 2, the Ghost of Christmas Present, the AD Warrior, and Bailoff Copperton, played by Trickster Tunes. The Ghost of Christmas Future, and Darian, played by the one and only Deadman, Dan the Man 5. Our incredibly captivating narrator and defense attorney, Mr. Rolnoff, played by Smith Sylvian.
Easy for you.
See, I even got it. Smith Sylvian. And Rigert Himjas. Honorable Judge Walveris, played by Duck 17. Duck is also the set designer, the playwright, and the producer of an ESO Christmas Carol and Trial of the Ages. And I've been your host, Savina. Thank you all for being such wonderful guests, and from all of us to all of you, Merry Christmas.
Merry
Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Ho, ho, ho!
Dang. DC somehow managed to get a scroll back while we weren't there.
Wow.
Right?
Thank you all for coming out tonight. Really hope you enjoyed it.
And yes, now we're going to open it up to the cast. Questions, comments, concerns, if anybody has any.
Yeah, can I change my ESO in-game Christmas wish?